All right, guys, this is the final trick tip, and I feel like it's the most challenging one. So if you've sat through all my explanations all the way up until this one, congratulations to you. You have a lot of patience and a great attention span, and you must be very skilled if you've learned all these other tricks up until this point. So just want to say thank you for sticking in there, and you know, I really hope you're entertained by these and hope you have learned something from this series. I'm going to be teaching you how to do a switch frontside big flip today. Okay, so the trick, the switch frontside big flip, you're riding switch, the board does one flip and spins 360 going frontside, and you do a 180 with the board as well, meaning you're landing regular when you land. So there's a lot of controversy behind the name of this trick. It's a switch frontside flip and a switch frontside big spin combined. So it's like a switch big heel, but with a kick flip instead of a heel flip. I call it a couple different things. I've called it a switch big spin hard flip. I call it a switch frontside big flip. I've heard some wild names for this trick, but those are the two ones I call it. But anyway, get to the point of how to learn this trick. You want to have your switch frontside flips down. You want to have switch big spins down, because essentially it's just those two tricks combined. The main thing for this trick is when I'm approaching it, I set up the same way as I would for a switch frontside flip, which is, it might be a little different than most people, but I kind of put both my feet, like with my heels hanging off, just in toe position, back foot kind of like, well, I do it kind of in the corner of the pocket, like right there. Front foot is pointing off somewhere in the middle of the board like that. I pop the trick as if I were doing a switch frontside flip, but I wind my shoulders up a little bit more than a switch frontside flip to get that extra scoop, that extra spin. So I go as if I were to do a switch frontside flip, and I kind of just throw it out, whip it out a little bit harder than I would for a switch frontside flip to get the extra rotation. You probably should learn how to do switch big spin heel flips first, because it's a really similar trick. Like the way you scoop it and the way it comes around, the way you land it. I would recommend learning switch big spin heel flips first, because then you can kind of get the idea of the wind up and the scoop that I'm talking about that you need to do this trick. For me, it's a lot about the flick. You gotta flick really hard on this one. A lot of common mistakes with this are just missing the flick, and it kind of just airballs and does like a switch big spin that gets away from you. Another one is just not rotating it enough and kind of just doing like a little bit of an over rotated switch hard flip, like you do a switch hard flip and like go a little bit more than that, not completely making the full 180-degree turn. So make sure you get the wind up and the scoop, and you flick equally as hard. The flick and the scoop are equally important for this one. Yeah, my main tips are just have your switch frontside flips down, your switch big spins down. Knowing how to switch big heel is really good for this one as well. I've never done it on flat ground. I learned it off a loading dock when I was younger. It just kind of made sense to me because switch frontside flips and switch front big spins were two tricks that I had down pretty well. And I just figured, oh, well, what if I combine them? Like, that makes sense to me. And it kind of just worked. I think the first time I threw one out, I just somehow kind of knew what to do, and it flipped perfectly. I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but it could be for you. You might just naturally know how to do this. Yeah, be creative with it, take it to stairs, maybe do it into a grind if you get really good at it. Go to manual, I don't know. Do something epic, but most importantly, have fun with it.